Remember, how me intro there? Me go play.
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message I reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
You know it's teach them the number one. Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message I reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
You know it's teach them the number one intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you're seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 304. For some strange reason, I'm drinking some ice water just now, and me just like half down the place. Big up to myself. Big up to the people who tune in, check in. For all the people who are at work, I trust that your shift will end soon. You'll get a chance to be home with your family shortly. For the people who are on the road, please stay safe, get home safely. For the people who are there home, ready for listen to teacher about some things we have at Jam Down, Jamrock, Jamaica Land We Love, Land of Food and Water, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt, Vibes Cartel, Buju Banton, Shelly and Fraser Price, Elaine Tam, support the same similar. Some more people. Peeps, good evening. Soon circle. Scarf is annoying.
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message I reach them. You know it's teach them the number one intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel. Hey yo, yellow! Like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button. Hey yo, we always up to something. Teach them! Hey yo, yellow! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them right here. Warlord representing.
Yeah, peeps. Good night. As I said, hope everybody is okay. Teach them, check your WhatsApp message. Okay, Empress Hudson, I'll do that after the stream. Hope you're okay. Alright, peace. So there are some things to talk about. I just get rid of it quick and go to bed. Because, Jaja, as it relates to the COVID situation, there have been, over the last 24 hours, some 126 new confirmed cases, and 2 more people have died, unfortunately. So the Ministry of Health and Wellness has announced the recording of 2 new COVID-19 related deaths locally over a 24-hour period up to Saturday afternoon. The deceased are an 86-year-old male from Trelawney, and a 78-year-old female from the corporate area. So the ministry is advising of the 126 new cases of the virus over the same 24-hour period, said the batch brought the total number of confirmed positive cases nationally to 15,653. And the new cases include 45 males and 80 females, with the sex being under investigation in respect of 1 case. Hey Zana, how are you? It's good to see you. It's been a while. So the ages among the new cases range from 1 year to 92 years. Manchester currently has 23. Well, Manchester had 23 of the 126 cases. Kingston and St. Andrew 22. St. Catherine with 18 were out front among the parishes in terms of new cases. Now, over the 24-hour period, a total of 1,281 samples were tested, the ministry reported. and recoveries have increased, with 39 cases being recorded over the 1 day period. So the ministry also reported that 95 persons were now hospitalized with the virus. 6 are classified as being moderately ill, while 8 are classified as being critically ill. But I know I was okay, Matthew, and then I just kind of feel thirsty. I'm gonna drink some ice water and then this coughing thing kind of. So I have been trying to drink some room temperature water for the longest time, and I don't know now, but me there, man. I don't know that I'm sick still, but you know things are tough. All right, peeps. If you're here for the first time, welcome to the stream. If this is the first stream you're watching, welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. I see where Miss Winsome says that she will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow, the 1st of February. Happy birthday in advance. I trust that you will have a wonderful day, and that this will be just one more birthday and many more birthdays to come. And when I check the message later, I'll talk to you. So that is the situation for the COVID virus for the past 24 hours up to Saturday afternoon. That is 126 new cases, 2 deaths. I think on Friday there were 3 deaths. I think about 65 cases, new cases. So the battle continues. But there are so many things going on in the country that I start to get the impression that the COVID situation is starting to take a backseat as why it thinks that away. Yeah, I saw somebody earlier said that, well, asked if I know any of the people who are among the new 126 cases of the COVID. I suspect that was the question. Of this batch, no, I don't, but I know people who would have tested positive, and unfortunately, I know of people who would have died. So, if that's a question you're asking, then that is the answer that I have. Zane, watch that cough. That's where it started. Nah, man, nothing to start now, man. Everything good, man. Yeah, son. But good, man. You see me? So, I just one of them look at things. They probably just the water and probably my sinus and some other little things. So, but my good, man. Big up TD. What's going on, brother? Long time. Gabby done 5-8. Where are David? But there every day, you know, Gabby done. So, you missing you, but we're there. We know I think more time still. You understand? But I'm glad for know, say, you're the about hope you and the family good. Many times we see people on social media complaining that their self-service providers are being less than good, put it mildly, and many people oftentimes chide and chastise them for disruption in services. But the reality though is that many times the disruption in service come about because of Jamaicans who are targeting these cell companies, the cell companies' infrastructure, whether it is to remove wire for copper or to remove batteries from cell sites and what have you. We see a situation where the police would have recovered a number of battery units that were stolen from cell sites across the island that has a street value of $10 million. So 130 stolen cell site batteries valued at approximately $10 million was seized in Riverton. Members of the Constabulary's Specialized Operations Branch removed 130 cell site batteries during an intelligence-driven operation in the Riverton area of St. Andrew on Wednesday, the 27th of January. So the Specialized Operations team reportedly swooped down on an area in Riverton after following strong investigative leads into reports of stolen cell site batteries. Now, the rechargeable dry cell batteries, which have an estimated value of approximately $10 million, were reportedly stolen from the cell sites across the island. Now, the JCF is advising citizens that the removal of these batteries from telecommunications cell sites is a serious threat to our national security. Our citizens could be faced with challenges trying to reach emergency services should there be a power outage. Exactly what they do with the batteries, I am not entirely sure. I don't know if these batteries are used on vehicles or they are used to generate energy, electricity. I don't know. Exactly what they do with them, I cannot say, but many times I am certain that people have been trying to use their cell service and they're running difficulties. And of course, the bus have them in. Oh, okay. Good night, Renee. How are you, beautiful? It's always good to see you. Um, so as Dwight has said, coaster buses tend to use them. Them go put it in the plane. um, but whatever they use them to do, if they are stolen, then they are stolen. You understand? And apparently they are extremely valuable, as these are used to run the cell sites in an event that electricity is disconnected. So I suppose it's a backup source of energy. Saying cool running Stevie, blessings. Auntie. I am okay for the most part, Ren. I'm happy to know that you are okay. So, I don't know how useful these batteries are. I don't know um the condition that they are in based on the pictures. I don't know how useful they would be. Same way, I don't know. But the police them say them find them. Good night, Miss Brooks. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hope you are okay. And them things. We have so many things to talk about tonight, in a very short space of time. Because me not staying here till the morning. You understand? So, yeah. Uh, Sir Fitzroy Miller, blessings. We have from time immemorial, from time immemorial, we have been speaking about the crime situation in Jamaica, and for all intents and purposes, it is getting worse. There's a saying that our parents and grandparents often use that sometimes in order for things to get better, they have to get worse. I don't know though how much worse the situation related to crime in this country can get before it starts to get better. Um, Many people, including myself, are at our wits' end. Many people are in a state of constant fear. Many people work very hard in this country, pay their taxes, uphold the laws, the rules, and regulations of the country, and yet still they are in a constant state of unease and discomfort, not knowing if they will survive each day they go out or if they will survive each night them go home, because even in your house no safe. You understand what I'm saying? And it is no secret that the tool of choice in the committal of many crimes in Jamaica is the gun. Again, it is still no surprise that as a country, Jamaica, on a legal level, does not manufacture firearms. So we know that these weapons have been flowing into the island for decades. You understand? For decades. I know nothing new. You understand? I guess the increase in flow may be different from in the past, but guns have been coming here from the devil was a boy, innit? From politics was a boy. And when criminals kill people in this country, or when guns and ammunition is found, many times because of the inefficiencies and the weaknesses in our judicial systems, in our judicial system, and in the dispensation of justice or the lack thereof, many times these offenders receive a slap on the wrist. Yeah? 2, 3 guns and a man a spend 5 years with X amount of ammunition and him come back a road instead of 2, 3 guns this time have 16, 20 guns in it. So the consequences and punishment for many of the crimes related to guns are very punitive, and they are not in any way, shape, or form sufficient as a deterrent or a punishment for offenses. We hear our politicians, they talk regular. Yeah? That is what politicians do best in Jamaica. They talk. And we get a lot of promises and a lot of we're trying and we will be doing, and if the next one did do this and if that person did do that, and all manner evil. Yeah? And we get the blame game and the finger pointing and all sort of something. Everybody have the solutions when they are in opposition, and when they get the chance to run the country, it's like I never them people they did have them the brilliant ideas when they were in opposition, and it goes both ways. When the People's National Party is in government and the JLP is in opposition, the JLP have all the ideas and solutions to all problems. When the JLP is in power and the People's National Party is in opposition, the People's National Party have all the ideas and the solutions. And when for them time come, same thing. You understand? So Jamaica has become a talk shop, and it's not new, and it is both political parties. You understand? So I know some people are going to run and jump and say, if I did my party, look here, I don't know no party about it. You understand? PNP, a PNP people and sitting on JLP board for my party. I know we love point finger and say this a party that and that a party that and whatnot. You understand what I say? Now, added to the chorus and the chatter and the talk is Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, saying that the amendments to the Firearms Act is slated to be completed by the 31st of March. Again, lawful wagwan broski. And we will look at that date. We will revisit that date to see, because as I say, we have been hearing these things a long time. You understand? We know say guns are killed. 70% of the murders that are committed in Jamaica is a gun. Yeah? But yet still, man find with too many guns and him the other street again. Him have more freedom than me. And me, I have never been arrested. And him have more freedom than me. You know so what I go on about it? That no make no sense. See? So, Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, had said amendments to the Firearms Act should be completed before the end of the financial year, and the final drafts are being done now, he said. Chang was speaking after a tour of the firearm licensing authorities, FLA Oak Road offices in St. Andrew on Thursday, the 28th of January. So he said the revised legislation, which is aimed at tackling gun crimes, is critical, as 80% of the homicides in the country are committed with firearms. I was saying 80% of the murders committed in Jamaica is done by the gun. He added that the amendments are to streamline the regulation of the legal arms trade and the functions and activities of the FLA. The new Firearms Act will seek to, in fact, impose adequate penalties and hold those with illegal firearms accountable for the criminal activities they are up to, and those who have licensed firearms will be dealt with if they don't license them. He indicated. Well, that sounds strange. Chang said the legislative improvements are expected to work in tandem with the enhancements that are being undertaken at the FLA, which regulates the use of legal weapons and ammunition. Now, the agency has acquired, among other things, bullet tracks, marking machines to improve the capacity to capture bullet signatures, as well as laser engraving equipment. Now, Chang said laser identification is a critical part of the FLA's tool to manage the firearm industry. The importance of identifying the legal from the illegal firearm becomes more critical because the current legislation does not do much to separate them. And therefore, if you don't license your firearm on your birthday, you could be charged with carrying an illegal firearm, he pointed out. Chang added that it is important that the FLA has a strong and robust system of accounting for the licensed firearms in the country. He noted that the agency, like all other departments of the security ministry, is going through a process of modernization to make it fully equipped with the requisite technology and structures to manage the security apparatus in the 21st century. He further indicated that the anti-gang legislation is being reviewed and said we will look at a number of other pieces of legislation to come down the road to give the police the requisite legal tools to deal with the problems we have. Put up your hand if you have heard these things before. Put up your hand if you have heard these things from all ministers of national security before in your lifetime. Zane, why illegal guns are hard to get? I don't know. You'd have to probably direct that to the minister or the FLA. Zane, how many times are we going to hear these same things? How many different mouths are these things going to come from? How many different microphones will be in front of people as they speak these things? When are we going to change from just talk and we will see some results? When? Like, Jamaica has been ranked as the most murderous country in the Americas. Jamaica has been ranked as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Jamaica is among the most murderous nations on the planet. So despite all that we have been doing on the global stage, be it in sports, entertainment, academia, it really and truly means very little if we continue to get a black eye every single day. You understand? And I ask the question again. The Minister of National Security presides over one of the most volatile constituencies in this country. Norwood, Glendevon, Salt Spring, Canterbury, the whole of them place there falls within the geographical boundary of the constituency that the Minister of National Security as MP presides over. How can we have a Minister of National Security whose constituency is among the most volatile in the country, with murders here, there, and everywhere, presiding over the security affairs of the nation? How can a failed member of parliament be a successful Minister of National Security? Like, if you can answer that, then I would appreciate the answer. A man who has been many term MP for his constituency with the same issues, and I now tell you, say, Mr. Chang can solve the murder issues in his constituency like that. But I don't know that enough has been done down the years to straighten out those communities in his constituency. So if he as an MP is unable to effect any serious changes in his constituency, how then shall this man effect any serious changes on a national level? Then maybe I am being unfair. Maybe I am being too critical. But like, and yes. The Minister of National Security alone cannot solve the problem. I would be very unfair if I suggested that. Zane? But are you have responsibility for the portfolio? You see me? So if there's success within the portfolio, you would be responsible for that. If there's failure, then are you responsible for it too? And again, I will not sit here and pretend like there's nothing happening with improvements in the security forces. That would be unfair again. But again, are we doing enough to treat with the situation? I mean, have to answer the question. It is obvious. It is obvious, you know. Zane, let me rearrange something here. So because it is very obvious, family. Well, I know. So the security forces is a problem. The judiciary is a problem. The legislature is a problem. You understand? Because most of the man them with them belly big like mine were just up in a jacket suit, go to parliament, go do a daytime, and quarrel with them one another. How many laws actually still make sense in the country based on the evolution of society? How many of the laws them on the books are in favor of, and you know, I've said this before, and most of the laws in Jamaica are more beneficial to criminals than to law-abiding citizens in this country. I say that again. I want to sit down and I want to think about it. Most of the laws on the books in this country are more beneficial to criminals than to law-abiding citizens in this Jamaica. Land we love. Tell you that. They beg for patience. Yes, that is understandable. But how long can we be patient when our mothers are being killed? When our daughters are being raped and murdered? When our children's lives are being snuffed out mercilessly? How much more patience is there to give? And I have said it many times again. The Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, the Prime Minister, they alone, the security forces alone, cannot solve crime in this country. You understand? And until citizens in this country, well-thinking, law-abiding citizens, decide to become a more active part of the fight against crime, we will continue to have this issue, you know. Like, I don't know what you need to see to realize you and me need to play a more active part in the crime fight in our country. You understand? Because me sitting down here on a Friday night and a Sunday evening and talking, don't do much, you know. Versus if I see criminal activities that take place, then I do what I need to do to ensure it stop. Some of we not interested in that. You know, we still live in a society where the informer for dead culture still permeates and prevails. See, many of us turn a blind eye to crime and criminality because it is not directly affecting us. And then now, it inches up, and when it reach our gate and our door, it's too late for we do anything when we had the opportunity. But because we weren't being affected, we never see the need to play an active role in eradicating said crime or criminality from our environs. You understand? Again, our mentality as a people has to change as well. We cannot be against crime out the road and complicit with crime in our house. We cannot be against crime when it's a man from Crossesa do it, but when your neighbor do it, you're complicit. Then you're a criminal rasta. But fabulous, are we going to be afraid for the rest of our lives? When are we going to stop being afraid? Are we going to live an entire life, an entire generation being afraid? Capital sentence must return. I mean, capital punishment. I suppose you're referring to hanging. And that won't solve the crime problem, my friend. It may help. It would be an important tool. But if you believe that that will solve crime in Jamaica, you have another guess coming. You understand? You see me? So the thing is that there and I get the and me I sound like a broken record tonight because everything I am saying now I have said it on numerous occasions. Crime never start in the year 2000 or 2001. Zane, the state that we are in never happened overnight. It has been happening for decades upon decades upon decades. It can't fix overnight. Zane, but the reality is that we need to start treat with the thing seriously. You see me I say? We need to start treating with the thing seriously. And what we have to understand too, for any greatness to be achieved, there has to be sacrifices. There will have to be collateral damage. Nothing great has ever been achieved without sacrifices. How many of us are willing to give up some of our rights for the betterment of the country in the long term? Not many of us. How many of us willing to shove out a family member when we know them in a criminality? Not many of us. How many of us are willing to run with some politician fellow who we know them not make no sense about ya when them come run with them 5 bills and them curry goat and them rum? Not many of us, because we are still a very tribal nation. How many of us are willing to look upon a man where you grew up with and tell him say you're virgin, you're wrong and you need to go from here, so? Not many of us. We defend the man them down to the ground and we know them wrong, you know. You understand? And we are war police now for defend with criminal friends and families in there. That's the thing, you know. And we know the man them are criminal, you know. How much are we willing to give to get a better country? And as I've said before, many of us will like the idea of a reduction in crime. The idea sounds good. You understand? But when it comes down to the practicality of it, when it comes down to the sacrifice of it, we're not depend on that. So we like the idea. Yeah, man, that sounds good, man. But what are you willing to do? I wasn't able to build a YouTube channel with almost 220,000 subscribers by sitting down doing nothing. I made sacrifices. I had many sleepless nights. I had to give up many things, including some friends, including relationships. Because you know the Empress them love them time and them attention, and them don't really see the vision. So you have to just cut off some people too. I was willing to do that. You understand? So in order to get anything, you have to give up something, family. What are we willing to give up? We're not even willing to give up a criminal family member, them brethren. No. In case many of you don't realize or comprehend or fathom the state of affairs that Jamaica currently is in, this might help. Jamaica tops homicides in Latin America and the Caribbean, with recorded killings of 1,301 in 2020. A new report on Latin America and the Caribbean has revealed that Jamaica now has the region's highest murder rate at 46.5 murders for every 100,000 people in the population. Yeah? So Inside Crime's 2020 Homicide Roundup, released on Friday, shows that the island beat out Venezuela, who has 45.6 murders per 100,000, by just under 1 percentage point to earn the unflattering distinction. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, land we love. Statistically, is the most murderous nation in the Western Hemisphere. When you think about places like Mexico, when you think about places like Belize and Honduras and Guatemala, where the drug trade is extremely violent, Jamaica has a higher murder rate than these countries. Andrea Carr says that is not true. What is not true, my brother? The 2 murder capitals in the region were followed by Honduras with 37.6, Trinidad and Tobago with 28.2, and Mexico with 27. And the 2 murder capitals are Jamaica and Venezuela. All these places have higher murder rates than Jamaica. The number of murders and the murder rate is not the same thing, my brother. So let me try clear this up for you. I'm assuming it is a lack of understanding here. The murder rate is calculated per every 100,000 people in the population. So it's a formula. It's not just to say, okay, you have more murders per se. The murder rate is done murders per 100,000 people in the population. So if you're doing, go look at the raw figures. Yes, you will have countries that amass more murders numerically, But based on the population, when you do the maths, it is not as high as Jamaica. Oh, lack of understanding on my part. Okay, my friend. Please go ahead and edify me. It's not a problem. Willing to learn. Ah. So we're speaking on how the stats are used now. It don't make no sense we go around and say how they should be used or where they should be used. We are stating the thing as has been accepted globally in looking at crime statistics in every country. So we now go skew the information and the data for suit our personal viewpoint. It is what it is. And as per the data, statistically, Jamaica is the most murderous country in the Western Hemisphere. Simple maths. Alright, so let's move on. Where are we now? Right? So the report noted that that United Nations considers any homicide rate of 10 per 100,000 citizens or above to be an epidemic. Remember, the United Nations, as per their standards, says that any nation with a murder rate of 10 murders per 100,000 people is an epidemic. 10. Jamaica is currently scoring 35.65 more murders than the level that the UN has as an epidemic. So funny enough, we have been spending a lot of time and energy and resources treating what the COVID-19, well, it's no longer an epidemic, it's a pandemic. But the truth is, if we were able to be as focused, decisive, consistent with our fight against crime as we have been in trying to stabilize the COVID situation and contain the COVID situation, would we not be in a better position in the crime fight? That's a question. So let's continue. So, the report noted that the UN considers any homicide rate of 10 per 100,000 citizens or above to be an epidemic. Jamaica's total killings marked a marginal decline from 2019's total of 1,339 murders and came as another welcome improvement over 2017's 1,647. Now, quoting reports on the Jamaica Gleaner, the document noted that while breaking from an overall decrease in serious crimes last year, shootings across the nation rose. Sorry, guys. Gangs in Jamaica and Haiti have been engaged in a deadly trade where marijuana is exchanged for guns. It's not just marijuana, it's meat as well. Boats loaded with up to 3,000 pounds of ganja have been heading from Jamaica to nearby Haiti, where drugs are swapped for handguns and high-powered assault weapons. Following ongoing efforts to target gang violence through the enforcement of zones of special operations, states of emergency, and plans for mass trials last year, Prime Minister Andrew Holness called for our citizens to help curb the nation's culture of violence. In his New Year message, Holness stated that as part of Jamaica's long-term security plan, the government intends to expand ZOZOs while modernizing technology used by its police and defense force heading into 2021. Yes, Crystal. The gun for drug trade, the meat for guns trade. So many stories have emerged down the years where Jamaicans, it is believed, have been transporting meat, beef, pork, chicken possibly, to Haiti You understand? To swap, to trade for guns. That has been well documented. So apparently Empress Crystal is not familiar with that. But it's not just drugs for gun, it is also meat for gun. Meat for gun. Commissioner Renita Adams should be the thing. Yeah. Me. So BM, I first hear that, brother. Yeah, hold on. Main one. Una follow up what going I think you know. Yeah, man. One at a time, there was, I think it was where there was a place in Clarendon that was figuring very, very prominently, and it was national headlines and something, man. You understand? Where many people, I don't want to call the wrong place name. Um, I'm going to go out on a limb though, and if memory serves me correctly, there's places like Freetown and them places that Europe one time, and it was revealed that it is the meat for guns trade that has been fueling the flare up of violence in some places down at them part. You understand? Yeah, man, as Clifton Walter, a long time it a go on, man. Mm. So when you ask people in power what is driving crime in Jamaica, Yorktown, Yorktown, okay. Somewhere down at Clarendon there, Southern Clarendon. Whatever happened to Terence Bent? Terence Bent still in the police force. He is still active. That's as much as I know. What you know? Normally, when these, well, any member from the Security Council, and the Security Council is made up primarily of the Prime Minister, who is Minister of National Defense. Well, Minister of Defense. Yeah, I should say that. The Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Harry Strong. The Chief of Staff of the JDF, Colonel Rocky Mead. I don't remember who else make up the Security Council, but those four are the four major players in the Defense Council. Normally, when questions are asked as to what continue to fuel Jamaica's crime, the number one answer, the go-to answer is gang warfare. And put up your hand if you hear this before. Gang warfare driving murders. The government focused on combating it. But the anti-gang legislation, it come like one big old dog where we have false teeth. He can't even give a good bite. We have seen many gangsters walk free after highly publicized trial and millions of taxpayers' dollars used in the judicial system to treat with these cases, and them crumble like a house made of sand. So the anti-gang legislation within itself, in and of itself, is really and truly lacking. And yes, you still have to merge that and marry that with the investigative capabilities and competency level of detectives. You still have to marry that with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. You still have to marry that with the judge that oversees the trial, and many, many different things. Same other point. National Security Minister Dr. Harry Strong is blaming gang warfare for the surge in murders across the country since the start of the year. Chang, who was speaking at the same FLA tour that I had mentioned earlier, on Thursday revealed that over 100 persons have been killed across the island so far, well, up to about the 25th, 26th of January still. More since then. He said efforts by the police to dismantle gangs have been working, despite it not being reflected in the murder statistics so far this year. The pathology of murders in Jamaica is around gangs killing each other. So when they shoot my grandmother and they shoot my daughter, you understand? And my little son, a gang. I guess they get caught up in a wrong place there. But when him say gang members are kill them one another, there is a lot of innocent people who get caught up in these gang exchanges. Zin? But I guess I know him a choice still. But yeah. Alright. So, and when you get outbreaks of gang war, you can have these spikes, Chang argued. But the reality is that we have been having these spikes for the past decade. So it's just a spike and 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 a spike. What do you mean? And there were 3 outbreaks. There was a gang shootout in Montego Bay, which was quite severe in the early part of the year, resulting from a particular incident the police are aware of, where one member of a gang was shot while acquiring some drugs at a particular place. And in Kingston, there was one in Arnett Gardens and another in the Rosetown area, Chang elaborated. He cited another feature of gang violence that has been contributing to the nation's high murder rate was young gang members being in what he described as a state of dispersion. In elaborating, Chang said, one of the problems we have is that most of the big gang leaders are the big killers, the ones who give the chilling orders, but they actually have been apprehended or some have been removed from the scene, killed I suppose. The younger ones in the gangs are now in what is considered a state of dispersion, in seeking to acquire their own rise in the gang. We have far more violence than before, he suggested. Chang said as a result, there is no order or discipline in the gangs, which has virtually spilled over into the society, causing violent crimes. Amid those startling situations, the police as well as the government have responded, the minister stated. According to him, Chang, who is also the deputy prime minister, the government has deployed more police in crime-plagued areas and invested heavily in more resources to aid the law enforcers in their quest to dismantle the gangs. In using Montego Bay St. James as an example, he said changes that were implemented by the police commissioner, Major General Anthony Anderson, to address the crime situation there are working. Well, not in Flanker and Norwood, and so I don't know. We see Montego Bay has been quiet for 2 weeks, and I am confident the operational changes introduced by the commissioner will work. And they are doing a number of other things in the corporate area, he said, adding that the change is working, although the numbers may not suggest that. And despite the present spike in murders, the National Security Minister said the government will not be deterred, though the development presents some concerns for the state. The work we are doing in the police force will bring long-term results and will improve public safety, and we are not going to deviate because of the spike. So the spike, big though it is, traumatic as it is, we have to persist. The gang war is not recent, it is embedded. We have gone about 30 years of over 1,000 murders each year because of inter-gang warfare, and we have to work within the constitution and prepare the police to deal with it. And it is being done, asserted Chang. The security minister said thing work, Rasta. Yeah, sir. It's working. And as I said, I can't say things are not being done and improvements are not being made, you know. But the reality is that this thing is getting from bad to worse. Yeah, son? And it has been getting from bad to worse for the better part of my life. You see me, the point? When I was a boy, you know, women and children were off limits. The elderly was off limits. No matter how cruel a man is. No matter what you and him have. Him not cross the line and kill your mother or your children. You see me, the point? So, Jamaica is a big talk shop. That me I tell you now. You understand? I think some of the nasty gun music giving those killers upper hand broke out more. They need to catch these fools. Why, Empress Newman, good night. Teachers were off limits too. Yeah, back in the good old days. Back in the days if a youth all violate a teacher, by the time he reach home and multiple licking beat he get from community members. Now the community members them a come beat the teacher them both. And that's what I go on around here. Yo, a whole heap of little things here, man. I don't know how these people who commit these crimes sleep at night. Very sound. Snore. Alone snoring. Very comfortable. The man them callous, man. The man them merciless, man. Heartless, man. You understand? And thing. Right now, I just a couple more dopey make today. I grow him thing and grow. You understand? Happy. Must sleep peacefully. You understand? Yeah, man. Businessman arrested after cops bag $80 million worth of cocaine in St. James. Church was off limits too. Yeah. Remember a couple of years ago them kill a pastor in a church out of one place out there, so. Remember one shooting going on one funeral in a churchyard around one place at East Kingston there. So a church thing, you understand? Right now, no, we're not safe. Right now, the only time you're safe in Jamaica is when you're dead. You can't dead again, you know. You understand? The narcotics police arrested a 59-year-old businessman of Westgate Hill in Montego Bay, St. James in connection with a multi-million-dollar drug seizure on Friday, January 29th. Now, reports are that about 7:15 p.m., lawmen were conducting anti-narcotics operations along the Flankameen Road in the parish when they signaled the driver of a motor vehicle to stop. Allegations are that the businessman complied. The occupants along with the vehicle were searched and 11 packages of compressed cocaine weighing about 11 kilograms were found. The vehicle and the packages were subsequently seized and the driver was taken into custody. However, his identity is being withheld pending further investigations. 80 million. Donald Fagan said that soon quiet. Well, make we see, no? We never hear the bad man them go parliament for no one. I want to tell you that still in run a parliament there. You have a whole heap of soldiers all boat for all in all places, you know. So, I don't think that is as easy as you then think still. You understand? So, I don't know why you would entertain that thought either, but yeah. $80 million out of cocaine. And I've said to you before that anywhere drugs is, guns and murders are not far behind. You understand? 80 million. Yeah. Woman believed to be mother of deceased newborn baby now in custody. Yeah. A woman is now in police custody and is to be questioned after the body of a newborn baby was found in Louis' store, St. Mary, on Tuesday. So police investigators have theorized that the baby belonged to the woman, who is said to be in her 20s. She turned herself into the police on Friday after a search was launched for her. So it was reported that a farmer found the baby's body in a pool of water in the Louis store area on Tuesday, sometime after 5 p.m. An alarm was raised and the police were summoned. The body of the baby, which had signs of decomposition, was removed to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Not entirely sure what happened there, but Jaja. Romeo, no way, brother. No way. You understand? You have to just hope and pray, as my father said one of them time. You see me? Yeah, man. So as I said, exactly what went down, I cannot say. I don't know how old the child is as a newborn. So I guess that could be 1 day old, it could be 10 days, I don't know. Postpartum depression could be, what I pronounce that correctly, a factor here, as that is more prevalent than many people would think. But yeah, I could watch and see what's going on here. So the child's the baby's decomposing body was found. Dexter Pottinger's killer pleads guilty to manslaughter in second case. So remember that one brother did plead guilty for the murder of Dexter Pottinger, and he was sentenced to 12 years. He has pleaded guilty to another crime, but instead of pleading guilty to murder, he pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Romario Brown, the makeup and the graphic artist currently serving time for the murder of designer Dexter Pottinger, I think on Friday, pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter for the killing of 20-year-old Alexia B. Pot in 2016. Brown was out on bail for the murder of B. Pot, when he stabbed Pottinger to death in 2017, supposedly because he made sexual advances towards him. Pottinger had posted bail for Brown hours before he was killed. So Brown was out on bail because Pottinger had posted bail for him a few hours before. Pottinger was stabbed to death because Brown said Pottinger made sexual advances towards him. Brown subsequently pleaded guilty to manslaughter in respect to the killing of Pottinger and was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment in 2019. On Friday, Brown, appearing before Supreme Court Judge Justice Carencia Brown-Beckford in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston, initially pleaded not guilty to the 3 counts on the indictment in which he was charged for murder, larceny of a phone belonging to Beapot, and larceny of a laptop belonging to her then boyfriend. Yeah, Jaja, it's alright. No open up, follow back on me, watch ya. No follow, no listen to what I go. See? Alright. However, his attorney, Anthony Williams, told the court that Brown had indicated that he wanted to change his plea to guilty for manslaughter instead of murder. After he was repleaded on that count, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Adley Duncan, appearing for the Crown, said based on the evidence available to the prosecution, it was prepared to accept the plea. Duncan said on the other 2 counts, the Crown was offering no evidence. Based on the evidence before the court, Brown and Beapot were engaging in sexual intercourse. When an argument developed during then I don't recall if having sex and argument developed though. And I have had sex a few times. With a few people. Quite a few people. Why? So, I don't know. Probably I'm me lucky if I never have no argument during sex. Then it's could have me argue about during sex. I could have said what you argue about. You understand? Then me don't know about that. Eh. Then make we argue when the sex done then, man. Ah. I never hear of this before, so I tell you the truth, God love. Like, it's very strange. Who about ya? Run one part in ya argue during sex. So don't let me know. Like, where really take place. What? Me not understand. But alright, make we finish with the article. Because stranger things have happened. You understand? Yeah. So based on the evidence before the court, Brown and Beapot were engaging in sexual intercourse when an argument developed, and he squeezed her throat and kicked her off the bed. According to Brown, he had no intention to kill her. So, well, there are some people who have some strange sex still, so I don't know still. You understand? But say, me and an empress have sex, I will start arguing, me squeeze her throat and kick her off her bed. Then we reach on another part, or reach on this, so then me not understand. You understand? And Beapot had Beapot. Hold on, let me see. Something. Before me do a look thing. Alexia, yeah, Alexia did have a boyfriend because Brown allegedly stole Alexia's phone and her boyfriend's laptop. You understand? So, I don't know still. Sarah said during sex, an argument developed and he squeezed her throat and also kicked her off of the bed. But according to Brown, he had no intentions to kill her. Beapot's body was discovered by her 2 roommates when they returned to the shared apartment. Police investigators said the trail led to Brown. Put up PayPal. Just a minute, Julian. Give me a minute. In the description in our stream, I did that still. But give me a minute. Let me finish this. She call her next man name, but say, member say no, it's not. She have a man, and I don't think him was the man. Him probably was I don't even know Rasta, but her throat get squeezed and she get kicked off her bed. Zin? So, yeah. So the prosecutor said, given the lack of intent, the prosecution was minded to accept the plea of guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter. And Brown is to be sentenced for B-Pot's killing on the 18th of February. So in the meantime, a plea by his attorney for him to be allowed to access, a plea by his attorney for him to be allowed access to some of his artistic tools while in custody was rejected by the judge. But Mr. Makeup art, I will put on makeup on. Alright, never mind. Williams, in Making the Pit, said Brown is a very renowned graphic artist who does tattooing for a number of leading artists, and he was asking if some of his materials could be allowed so he could keep himself occupied while in custody. Justice Brown, in turning down the request, said that is not the purview of the court. That does not fall within the remit of the court. No. Ahead of the proceedings, Brown sat quietly in the prisoner's dock, at one point clasping his hand before his face and closing his eyes. Boy, this man involved in a whole heap of murder, Rasta. You understand? Strange. But yeah, Julian said if I put up a thing because he want to spend some of my money. Then who am I to not put it there? Then after me no fool. I'm gonna take my fool. Oh, hold on. Boom. Strange this feeling I'm feeling. Yo, argument during sex. Never heard of it. David knows so that I keep. Yeah, son. May I try to pin the message, but I'm not pin. But somebody just post a link there, broski. Trying to pin this message, but it's not pinning. Let me refresh this on something. Alright. This brother involved in a whole heap of local murder scene, so I don't know. He must never feel like, oh, him left it the last. Richie B gas station. Where are you with family? Hope all is well at the Rasta. Give thanks. Man say must never feel like we have left it. Yes, after I wash and turn down, to use again. Oh, he finally pin. Alright. Seems as if he should be seen a therapist. Well, I suppose, hopefully, that will be a part of his rehabilitation. And them something there. Alright. We could continue in a jam rock here, sir. Yeah. PC Bank robbed in Maypen, Clarendon. Yeah, look like after a pot wash and turn down somebody cooking right. Why? A probe is on the way into the robbery of a People's Cooperative Bank on Gordon Street in Maypen, Clarendon on Thursday. 3 men entered the bank posing as customers. They reportedly brandished firearms and forced their way into the vault where they stole more than $2.8 million. The men also took money from 2 cash registers and stole a cellular phone. The robbers then stole the security guard's firearm before escaping in the car. I am happy that no one was hurt. I hope the same phone with them thief I hit police used to track them. You see me? Yeah. Man killed by police during hold up in St. Elizabeth. But I may tell you something, I love Senti and about Senti, the violence plenty. You understand? Hey Cindy, how are you, beautiful? The police in St. Elizabeth shot and killed a man during a hold-up in Pepper District in the parish. The incident occurred about 3:30 a.m., I think, on Friday morning or Saturday morning. So reports are that the man attacked a bartender. When the police responded to the situation, the man pointed the gun in the direction of the cops. The lawmen fired at him and he was killed. A .38 revolver with live rounds are reportedly taken from the man's body. So this is all the information in relation to this situation. So I don't know anything else. That is just the situation there. Yeah, so I go on out. Yeah, man. You know, me glimpse of video today because like me get about 100 different pictures and videos today in relation to many different things that are happening. You understand? And I saw a video where the narrator in the video was saying that a man was being beaten because him run over one female. Thanks so much, Empress Rosie B. Appreciate the contribution. Blessings every time. Woman dead after possible freak motor vehicle incident involving a lover. If love so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad, badang. If love so nice, tell me why I'm sad. You're here for do with me, Neil's to do with me, and you're making fun of me. Tell me where all of the loving gone, all of the warmth, and where is all of the tenderness. And there's a rumor going around, so when I'm out of town, there is a man where I'm supposed to be. Too late to be begging on your knees. And me my keys. And they go off my short sleeve. You can go do as you please. You can go talk to John Peter or Steve. Because if love's so nice. Man, I wish I could sing. If I couldn't sing, I couldn't hold me, you know. What sing about ya? I couldn't hold me, I tell you. God know when I make me can't sing, you know. Alone sing me and sing about here. Watch out. A woman died in Lionel Town, Clarendon on Saturday after an unusual incident that may have been a cause of accidental homicide, reportedly involving her lover. Mr. Lover. The Corporate Communications Unit of the police force confirmed the death, but said they were trying to confirm all the relevant details. Use auto-tune. Me can't use auto-tune in I stream Princess Rose. Me mean, you understand? Me don't really want to be an artist. I just like sing. You understand? But you know you like do some things that you can't do. That one of them there. Yeah. So, where were they? Yeah. It was said that she was destroying a car at a location. But then she and the man got back in the car and drove off. Then if you are destroying my car, then how you going to end up back in my car? Anonymous, thanks for the contribution. You can get Vice T. if I'm my car, you mash up. See? Then how you reach back in my car? Father Henry, give thanks for the contribution. You know what I mean? So apparently the Empress was mashing up the car. Vice training can't help me there, right? Then I don't wish that pan no vice training teacher. You understand? That not right. That not fair. So apparently the Empress was destroying a car at a location, but then she and the man got back in the car and drove off. They stopped on the roadside and she got out. He attempted to drive off, but she jumped onto the bonnet and was hit, a CCU representative said. The woman, who was said by sources to have been badly injured in the process, reportedly died a day later on Saturday. So sources on the ground said citizens saw what transpired and held the man who drove the car. He is reportedly in police custody, but no charge has so far been laid against him. I think he was also beaten a little bit. You understand? Based on the video clip of me. I know I saw that video clip there sometime today. Seeing, but it's kind of difficult to process everything when I come to the phone sometime. You understand? Auntie. Yeah. Strange. Strange. Like how argument during sex and throat get squeezed and people get kicked off a bed and anything. I don't know of it. A strange incident there. Is some strange thing. Double murder in Clarendon. There was a double murder in the community of Racetrack on the outskirts of Maypen in Clarendon early this morning. Dead are 55-year-old Kareen Walters, otherwise called Paula, a security guard, and a man known only as Jermaine, both of Sunset Gardens in Racetrack. The Maypen police said that about 12:10 a.m., residents heard explosions and alerted them. When they arrived, Walters and Jermaine were found with gunshot wounds to their upper bodies. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead, and the police have not yet established a motive for the killings. Sir. Murder. The crime rate has niggas bust it at the last the mind. 25 to life, never stem. Need to brush up on my pack, you know what I mean? Harry Dog killed in downtown Kingston. Anybody out there have a picture of Harry Dog? I have been wanting to know how Harry Dog look, and we cannot find a picture of Harry Dog. Main one, thanks for the contribution. Craigis. Not Craigis. Craig Creations. Thanks for the contributions, broski. Blessings to the man, them. You know what we think of. We appreciate it. You understand? I wish you... What you wish me could do, Kerry? I kind of did miss that. Yeah, man. If you don't know Harry Dog look there, you send me shot me a one picture on the app there. You understand? Yeah, man. Harry Mccloud, more widely known as Harry Dog, the reputed ex-lieutenant of drug kingpin Christopher Dodoscope, was shot dead in downtown Kingston earlier today. Mccloud, 51, was shot several times by unknown assailants at the intersection of Darling Street and Spanish Town Road. So news of the killing has been making the rounds on social media, causing jitters in the West Kingston community of Tivoli Gardens, where he wielded significant power as Coke's right-hand man. Zane, think it on Pinko, alright? So easy. Already, the Kingston Western Police are grappling with a significant increase in murders and shootings this year. Now, in the first 29 days of this year, 15 murders were recorded across communities that fall within the division, 12 more than what was recorded over the corresponding period last year. This according to police statistics. So the Kingston West Police also recorded 16 shootings between January 1 and 29 this year, 13 more than for the comparative period last year. The police have not identified a suspect or motive for Mccloud's killing. Now, Mccloud, in 2015, Mccloud was freed from charges of receiving a stolen motor vehicle, forgery and larceny in relation to a car found in Tivoli Gardens with more than 4,000 rounds of ammunition during the May 2010 police military operation in the community to arrest Coke. Genius. Then what's up now? Come on. I don't know what I'm going. What's not what's in? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a Harry Dog. Alright. Yes, I. Alright. Rush in on this, my day and a family. Give thanks. So them find one car in a 2010 during the Tivoli incursion with documents in the vehicle belonging, well, with the name of Mr. Mccloud, Mr. McLean or Mccloud, Mr. Mccloud. And 4,000 rounds of ammunition were allegedly found inside said vehicle. And apparently the vehicle was found in front of Dodos's presidential click office. So the vehicle with Mccloud's documents in it was allegedly found in front of Coke's presidential click office. That acquittal came 2 years after Mccloud was freed of an illegal possession of ammunition charge, after 42 rounds of ammunition were allegedly found in his Oxford Road, New Kingston apartment when he was held in 2011. You understand? So he was free. So he was held in 2011 with 42 rounds of ammunition in his apartment. He was freed of that in 2013. In 2015, he was also acquitted of the vehicle situation. So he has also been arrested several other times after the police listed him as a major person of interest in relation to crimes that were committed in the Kingston Western Police Division. I read a rap sheet long and thing. Them something there. Alright, peeps. This is unfortunately the hot topic that is currently at the forefront of public and private discourse throughout Sunday evening into Sunday night into the week here, where 51-year-old NCB employee Andrea Lowe-Garwood was shot and killed while praying actually, in church about 10:30 a.m. today. The incident occurred at the Agape Christian Church located at 85 Market Street in Falmouth, Trelawney. Yeah. All in the church we are go for them. Cause when war start, we no wait till it was load up my gun fast like minibus, kill him in a church car. We not really just Okay. Alright, so you know. A lot of things have been said. A lot of things are being said in relation to Kanai Jones TV. You know, I'm not calling nobody name. And I'm not suggesting that that song or anything had anything to do with this, you know. No, you're not only done. I was just, thinking out loud. Zine? Yeah, man. The reality is that as things are in Jamaica, murders occur anywhere. Schoolyard, school compound, school gate, hospital, doctor offices, church, business place in the middle of the road under the clock, in a party. Zine? Chilling in the hill, boss. Thanks for the contribution, my brother. Blessings every time. And I mean, everybody know the details of the incident, how it happened. I did the video. I'm sure many other people would have done videos about the situation today. And I know they see some of them and watch some of them. You understand? So that the details are not exclusive to teach them. You understand? As a matter of fact, my video was scripted by articles posted by the Gleaner nationwide. So just by way for informational purposes, so worship came to a dramatic end at the Agape Christian Church located at 85 Market Street in Falmouth, Trelawney on Sunday this morning, the 31st of January, following an attack on a woman during church service. So the shooting took place in the middle of the church service, which was captured on Facebook Live, which the church was using to stream the service. Now, members of the praise and worship team, as per the video, can be seen and heard pleading the name of Jesus as gunshots are heard, and the worship songs were then abruptly replaced with wails and screams. Bobby Six, blessings in the family. Appreciate the contribution. The victim has been identified as 51-year-old regional credit card officer at the National Commercial Bank's Montego Bay office, Andrea Lowe-Garwood, who is from a Stonebrook Manor, Danieltown, Trelawney address. So the police reports are that Miss Lowe-Garwood was in church participating in worship when she was attacked. She was reportedly praying approximately 10:30 a.m. when the shooter, who was seated behind her, opened gunfire, hitting her multiple times. Miss Lowe-Garwood's killer reportedly left a mobile phone behind, which was confiscated by the police, and the killer reportedly escaped in a waiting white 2013 Toyota Alliant motor vehicle, which is now in the possession of the police. Also of note, Mrs. Garwood's husband, 59-year-old tour operator Jeffrey Garwood, lost his life during a motor vehicle collision in St. James last year. And thing. I think Mr. Garwood died during an incident that I covered where there was some shooting incident and the shooters were chased by other gunmen, and the chase resulted in a collision in St. James, and Mr. Garwood was driving a bus that was in the collision and he died, I think, if memory serves me correctly. Now, initially, a couple of people sent me some stuff that were being said on social media where somebody was saying that Mrs. Garwood recently masterminded the dismantling of a major credit card scheme in Western Jamaica. I know me operate already. Me thank the people that must seen it, but I am very, very wary of social media when it comes on to certain things. See? Then I started receiving some voice notes and some other messages that I remember that accident story. Think it was but yes, so I think it was in front of one hotel. I don't remember. Zane, but somewhere down there. So there are many voice notes now in circulation suggesting what may have led to Mrs. Garwood's death. Consequently, the police have so far detained 3 persons of interest, and information is suggesting that one of the persons held by the police is the stepson of the deceased. Ibera Star, I think a Rosal Hotel? Yeah, an hotel near Rosal Hotel. Yeah, hotel along the Rosal main road. I think it was Ibera Star for true. Zane? I know that some people have heard the stories, the voice notes. I am not one to speculate, but as per the contents of and also I saw where Nationwide tweeted, suggesting that the police are looking at the possibility that a family feud may have led to the death of Mrs. Garwood. And as I said earlier, the information is suggesting that one of the 3 persons taken into custody is a stepson of hers, who would be one of Mr. Garwood's children. It is being suggested that there has been some family feud since the death of Mr. Garwood, and Miss Garwood is being accused of some stuff that I cannot verify, so I will not really, get involved in those things. I will wait, as I usually do, on official information. But the early signs are that the estate of Mr. Garwood is not being evenly distributed among those who should benefit, and as such, Miss Garwood was taken out of the picture by persons who may have felt aggrieved. That is what is being suggested. Now, if so, and I've said it on this program before, in this stream, that yes, that's something when named dead left. Me no want none of it. You understand? Because dead left, you're a dead lefty. See, and I've known of many, many stories where family members have died or been injured or hurt because they are feuding over dead left. I don't know in Miss Simpson. As I said, I don't know the details intimately enough to formulate any opinion as to XYZ. I am just kind of, speculating as it relates to some of the voice. I have heard about 6 different voice notes of different intensity and information. But I'll wait. But me go on also for my own. You understand? Me go on work for my own, because when you work for your own, nobody can claim it. You understand? But, and then, you know what is the rough part of it? You see, with these inheritance struggle, it's normally the people them where never do much when the people them alive want the most, that is the next thing. But there are allegations that fairness was not being used in the dispensation of Mr. Garwood's estate, and as such, that might have led to Mrs. Garwood's death. When something concrete is released by the police, then I'll have more to say, I suppose. But people always, and I've said this before, because another first time similar story of this nature as we have spoken to here. So when people dead left them things, sometimes best you just take with yourself. You understand? Oh, there's a lot of people watching the stream tonight, and a big up on a nice clean self. If you're here for the first time, welcome to the family. If you're watching for the first time, welcome to the stream. You understand? If you know you're a part of the family a long time, big up on yourself. Big up to the people that have been a part of the family, but they're here for the first time for a long while. Out of love. You understand? I see the comments. People are saying, but them man you couldn't wait until she come out of church. The shooter was sitting behind her in the church while she prayed. How can I be safe if I come home from living overseas? Is that a rhetorical question, Sir Wilbert, or is that a question where you genuinely want me to give you an answer to? You understand? Bless it, Junior Dirt. We are dealing with youth. Yeah, man, it's been a minute. Hope all is well. You see me, I say? It's not even unnecessary, so I'm blaming the lady. Miss Anderson, if you know nothing sensible, you say nothing. And I mean that seriously now. Because I don't know of anything that I've said you have come to that conclusion. You see me I blame nobody about here? Man, I appreciate that comment there. You understand? No, back to what I say now. Answer, please. Sir Wilbert, unfortunately, I am not able to furnish you with an answer of any substance. What I can say is that while many people live in Jamaica and live out their lives, unfortunately have people who are killed. The thing is bad. I cannot deny that. But it is a calculated risk, I suppose, when people decide to come back home, because the reality is that it just rough. You understand? And I know many Jamaicans out there who want to return after working so hard and stuff. But I can't tell you that, you know what I think, I don't know what to tell you. What I'll tell you is that the number of returning residents who would have been murdered in the past, that number has declined significantly. We'll give thanks to that. See? And them something there. Now, what you need to do is ask me in what context I said that. I made a general statement. So many times when people dead, the people them when you hang and goat over things, they were the ones who were missing in them people their life from the get-go. That was a simple statement. I never said it was related to this. No. Peeps. When people dead left them things, if you not have trouble nothing in there, left it. You understand? Because you dead left it too. You understand? Because you may be there, for example, say I your father. You may be there, you are the one who have been journeying, taking care of your father, Zane, and thing, and him have one next youth or one next two youth also who not business with him, who wouldn't even come look at him, and as soon as him dead, them want everything. That is the point that I was making. Yeah? And you are the one who would have made sacrifices to ensure so your old man get the medication, got the doctor, is taken care of, is fed, is kept clean. But are the one them who know, Zine, never did it for them old man, come out now and want everything. That is a simple point I was making. So, no. Miss Garwood's murder is just another reminder. I suppose the reason why it is so shocking is that it is in the church. But people dying in the church is not a new thing in Jamaica either. I guess it's just not as frequent compared to other murders. But it happened. There was a pastor fellow who was killed, thinking about 2017, probably 2018, thereabout. In church. Seeing many people have been killed in relation to churches before. As a matter of fact, Richie Poo would have served time for his alleged involvement in the murder of a female in church. So it's not something that is new. But I think people are still, alarmed because the church is supposed to be sacred ground and a sanctuary and ought not to be desecrated with the likes of murder. So people are a little bit shocked. But the truth of the matter is that this murder is different from no murder that has taken place in the country. You understand? I suppose it's just where it happened and how it happened. It is just a reminder again that we are not safe as a people. Nowhere is safe. You understand? And irrespective of what the situation was or is, if you go sit down beside one lady in a church and shoot her while she a pray, that's rough. Nadine alright, man. Every time Nadine come around here, she come around here to make trouble. You understand? She good. See me? Sad. Now it would be interesting to hear what investigators have to say. And funny enough, when I saw the news break, I remember on Friday night I made a reference to a survey that was done where most Jamaicans say they feel safe is at church. I don't know how many of you remember that, you know. Where most Jamaicans say them feel safest at church. And see it there. And you know me not black card, Miss Brooks. Me not black card. That boy black card. You understand? I don't know if that survey was to be done tomorrow morning, if the results will still be the same. Yes, Marlon, I know that it is being alleged that a family member of hers has been taken into custody as well, which is her stepson. So, and as I said, there are many things being said, but I have learned doing this YouTube thing that the voice notes, you listen to them and wait. You understand? Yeah, man. I have heard many voice notes that are as far from the truth as the North Pole is from the South Pole. You see me? I'm the old people take a survey there, brother. I don't do it, bro. I see some people saying with so many churches in Jamaica, then I see some people are saying then why God never, it thing no work so family. You understand what I say? It is really and truly unfortunate and sad that we have to be covering a story like this. Zane. I know normally me not even then cover a story because I don't tell them say the murder business. I kind of not too deaf on that these days. You understand? I prefer to upload most of the times than upload about murder. It is just, I have been doing this long enough to feel drained emotionally and psychologically sometimes with these incidents. But I was here when I was sitting in front of the computer when it broke. I said, "Chow, yeah, yeah." No one in the church with a license for your arm. Who knows? But then sometimes them things I'm so quick, you know, brother. Some people, as much as a man we have him license gun, you know, he will freeze up to, you know. You understand? And then a man might have him license gun and he must say, yo, you know, so this is not the place. You understand? I don't know. May I tell you the truth? I really don't know. You see me? I really don't know. And some people now pull them license weapon too if I don't feel them life per se in danger. Because no, some man now you know so them have their license gun in brother. Because the moment people know it's not an element of surprise anymore. Seeing that is how the license gun is most effective when it is an element of surprise. Then they know you got it, man. So they might come high and mighty. You understand? But it's every murder is sad, Rasta. Every murder is sad. Especially when it's a murder where it's not a gang star kill a gangster. When it comes on to supposedly decent law-abiding Jamaican citizens going about them business and they are killed, it is. So I'm not bother do them story most of the time, you know. You understand? So, premeditated, the man got church for match the works. You understand? I don't know. It will be interesting in the coming days as the information becomes available from credible sources, that is. Because with social media, look, every incident will happen. There are voice notes telling you exactly how it go, and many times I not so it go. But many of the voice notes that I've listened to kind of have a similar theme, so I don't know. I'll watch and see. And no matter what the situation is or was, no matter what kind of dispute was there are ways to settle these things without violence being required. You understand? The courts is there. Zane? And thing. Because watch you know. Teach them, same way they killed my friend going to church last year in Kingston. Jaja, my condolences, brother. How long was the shooter in the church? They say a couple of minutes. The shooter was sitting behind the Empress and thing. Zane? And I don't know if the person who pulled the trigger is the person who is having differences with Miss Garwood as per. But even so, if you pull the trigger, then how will you know benefit from whatever it is if I saw the something go? You understand what I say? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it tell us. God know I don't know if it tell us. Zane? So 3 persons have been taken into custody by the police as investigations into this morning's murder of 51-year-old Andrea Lowe-Garwood deepens. So the vehicle, which it is believed the gunman used to escape, has also been seized, the police said. And these things. So it is believed that the persons of interest were picked up about 3:30 p.m. during an operation in the neighboring parish of St. James. And them something there. So the incident sent congregants scampering for cover as many frightened worshippers screamed and wept openly. Yeah, man. I am sure that children may have been among the audience in the congregation and possibly had witnessed that boy, I don't even know. Me just tired. I am tired. I am tired. I am tired physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually. It's probably only sexually me not tired yet. Can't to get tired this, you know. That risky. Yeah, son, but the rest of them are tired. See? And as I say, if you follow the channel, you realize that I have made a conscious decision not to do a lot of murder stories videos. It is just, it annoys me. It drains my energy. It affects you psychologically, whether you want to accept it or not. It just drains you. Like, I know there are people out there who just do these stories because they have a YouTube channel and they might try to make some money. I mean, I would prefer to make money other ways, in all honesty. You understand what I say? I prefer to make my money on YouTube in a way where I know say blood never run for make the money here. See what I say? It affects me deeply. So for the month, I may just do 1 or 2 videos in relation to that and let the chips fall where they may. So yes, even though my views will decrease, that I am okay with that. You understand? So me I get kicked off my bed. I have had enough. I have had enough for a long time. But each day it just add up upon the enough. Upon the enough that I have had. I am tired of talking about these things as well. And that was one of the reasons why I created JA Positive. You know, when I say when I stream, I go talk about some positive things. You see? But then more time I just tired and I get free the stream over there some more side time. So, but one of them time, I will be free enough in the future to cover all the channels. Yeah, put it that way. But I don't know about the people watching. Many people are here watching tonight. I am tired. I don't know if you are tired. I am tired of hearing these stories. I am tired of covering these stories. I am tired of discussing these topics when I stream. I just do it because I know that the people who are watching, they may never hear them stories, and probably them want to hear what me think about it. Even sometimes I even bother tell you what me think. You understand what I say? Because yeah, I am somebody who just gives you the information and I'm gone. My videos are not about my opinion, it's about the information, the facts. I'm gone. For the stream, yeah, I discuss some things, I'm tell you how I feel. But how I feel, I'm tired. You understand? I am personally tired. And when I say financially, it means that with crime as is, it will affect us economically. You understand what I say? Teacher, I am a cop, so you know I am tired. Invest addicts, boy, go on hold it in a family. You understand? I have said that the hardest job in Jamaica is policing. Jamaica is one of the most difficult countries in the world to police. So when we have good police officers out there, we are trying to make the thing better. They appreciate the ones them. You understand what I say? Because I know it's a jungle out there. You see? Mentally, it is just, I have been doing these stories from 2016. I am tired, man. I am so tired of it. Man, I tell you the truth, what God love. It So let's see how the investigation develops. Let's see what is uncovered. Let's see the information that will be forthcoming in short order. Preliminary reports suggest that several people were shot and injured at a bar at the corner of East Queen Street and Gold Street in downtown Kingston. Think that would have happened last night. Alleged eyewitnesses say at least 5 people were rushed to hospital after gunmen entered the bar and opened fire on patrons. This was posted by Nationwide. I have not seen any follow-up. I have not seen any information. I have not seen the police address the matter, so I don't know. This is just the information that was available at the time. Yeah. No, peeps. One story. I haven't read the article in any depth. I scanned it, and the title of the article says, "Not easy to walk away from a life of crime, say police, as man gunned down minutes after pleading for a better life." A desire to change the course of his life for the sake of his 5-month-old son came too late. Well, came too little, too late for 23-year-old Cadian Monroe, otherwise called Big Head, who was gunned down in the sometimes volatile community of Flankers in Montego Bay, St. James, 2 weeks ago, minutes after sharing with the Gleaner team about his intention to walk away from a life of crime. "I can't let my youth grow up seeing me like this," Monroe said, as he pleaded for help to get a job. "Even to mix cement. I can't go back to jail. I have to drop certain things." Bighead did not elaborate on the certain things, but the desperation was evident on his face as he turned his attention to the journalists with whom he was more familiar. "I just want to set a positive example for my little youth. I just want something to do," he said as he gratefully accepted a $500 that was handed to him. Monroe attended the Green Pond High School and was an average student with an acceptable attendance record, but was distracted by his passion for football, despite never getting involved competitively. Now, prior to the COVID-19 health crisis, he was employed in the laundry department of one of the major hotels along the elegant corridor in Montego Bay. He hailed from the tough inner city community of Salt Spring, which is located on the outskirts of Montego Bay, where residents must observe imaginary borders established by the gangsters, sometimes just a few streets apart. He was recently released on bail by the courts, where he was answering to a charge of shooting with intent and illegal possession of firearm. The atmosphere was pregnant with tension when the Sunday Gleaner team visited the community, pregnant with tension. Last week, following his killing, as residents kept within the confines of their home while observing the actions of members of the security forces in the area. Big Ed's sister, Melissa Harrison, along with family members, did not expect that their brother would die that way. Living in a ghetto, you have to choose a side. It is the way of the ghetto. Just by living on a side, you are a supporter of that side. But my brother was not involved in no gang. He was not the type to take a life. But I wish my brother had taken even one life. Because it would be easier to deal with his death. Because I believe that if you live by the sword, you should die by the sword. Let me read that again. Living in the ghetto, you have to choose a side. It is the way of the ghetto. Just by living on a side, you are a supporter of that side. But my brother was not involved in no gang. He was not the type to take a life. But I wish my brother had taken even one life. Because it would be easier to deal with his death. Because I believe that if you live by the sword, you should die by the sword, Harrison said. In the ghetto, you always know who do the killing. You cannot hide anything. From killing one, the names are called. And Big Ed name never called on a killing. He was not a gunman. Her brother's murder was even more painful for Harrison, as she claimed that shooters from the same era were responsible for the death of her son's father, Dwayne Powell, in 2015. I have thought about leaving before, but now I might have to eventually leave because I don't want my son to grow up with revenge in his heart, because it's the same people kill his father and he was extremely close to his uncle, she said. It makes no sense you tell police, because after that information, just wear out and nothing happens. It is not like America when a police and an investigation, they stay on it. Jamaica not like that. Assistant Commissioner of Police, Clifford Chambers, who is in charge of the Area 1 Police, said that despite the progress made by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in building a relationship with the citizenry, trust remains a challenge in crime fighting. We can accept that 98% of the membership of the JCF are good. That kind of high still. 70% me give them, man say 98. But I'm not sure about 98, but alright. And have an interest in the safety and security of everybody, ACP Chambers said. You do have a very small fraction that we are all working very hard to root out. And they are the ones that continue to create the mistrust and distrust between the police and the community. Chambers, a former head of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, continued, Big Ed was a person of interest, and it is known that he was associated with persons who are part of a gang. But as it relates to being an active player and his particular role, I cannot say what it is right now. But he was known to be associated with persons who are part of a criminal organization. He was not operating singularly, but by himself, but as far as his specific role was, I cannot say right now. Man, the article is long, you know. But me give them 63. Jaja. Hey, teach respect for all you do. Looking in it, may appears that not much is being done. However, as far as my experience, all special operations done by a personally search more persons per week. Yeah. Invest. As me say, I will never say things are not being done, but we want more, brother. You understand? I mean, know that's above your pay grade, but thanks for the sterling job you are doing and stuff. I'm going to continue to read the story because we are read already. Chambers argued that Monroe might have had a challenge separating from associates involved in criminal acts. When a man is a part of a gang and wants to throw in the towel, it is one of the hardest things because he has to be careful that even though he would no longer be a part of the gang, the persons who have been impacted by the gang might not have known this, he explained. Gangsters are at each other predominantly because of reprisal, and oftentimes they will take the opportunity to carry out their vendetta against another person if they get the chance. Chambers added, so if I get into church and decide to put aside my criminal lifestyle, it might not be something that my opponents will know, and even if they know, they still have a revengeful, rebellious demeanor because they are hurting as a result of the loss that they have suffered at my hands or persons I am associated with, or the gang that I might have been a part of. But Elkanah Gordon is refusing to accept that his nephew was involved in any form of wrongdoing. Not Big Ed. That cannot be true. Everybody knows he is a coward, and the most problem he will have is a woman problem. But to kill somebody, not Big Ed. It's not everybody in the ghetto is bad. But the juvenile was, well, the youth was out and bail for illegal possession of firearm or shooting with intent. Shoot something. I don't want to tell a lie upon the youth, you know. You understand? I don't remember, but him did up on bail. You see? I said it earlier, but I don't remember. So you know, Monroe's murder and flankers took place hours after 6 persons were killed in Norwood and South Spring in the St. James Police Division. But the Area 1 crime chief is confident that the upheaval will be short-lived. I'm not even read no more. I remember the security minister said, it thing a work down Mobi, you know. Yeah, man, it a work. Yeah. No, I understand say the family are hurt and thing, but the brother, him tell it to say him did involve in a thing, so oh yeah, say him not involved in a nothing, so I don't understand. You see him? But these things are not easy to walk away from, and it is not just your rival. A man no want you left a gang because you know too much things. Him afraid you go rat them out or you go tell the police them things. So I will heap a look at things. And them something there. See? And these things. Unfortunately, I'm back on this story. As more information has been revealed as to what took place, you know, I think the trial was an in-camera hearing, so the media wasn't allowed per se. But I think the DPP's office released a statement, and plus I saw an article. You know that Mavado's 18-year-old son, Dantay Brooks, was convicted of the 2018 murder of Lorenzo Thomas that took place in Cassava Peace. He was also found guilty of arson and is to be sentenced on the 10th of March. Now, they were tried before Supreme Court Judge Justice Leighton Pusey for the murder of Thomas, who was shot and killed on the 5th of June 2018 and his body burned beyond recognition after his house was set afire. So now, during the 12-day trial, which began on the 11th of January, the prosecution presented evidence from 14 witnesses, including Thomas's father, so that is the father of the deceased. The court heard that on the day before the incident, the elderly Thomas received word that his son was going to be killed and made arrangements for him to stay elsewhere. Later that day, the elder Thomas said he visited his son to give him some money for food, and upon returning home, he passed the accused man before entering his yard. According to the elder Thomas, he went into his yard and later saw his son arrive at the house. He said he saw the 2 accused men and other individuals standing near his fence for a couple of hours and pointed this out to his son. So why wasn't the police called though? Thomas said shortly after 3:30 a.m. he heard when the door to his son's front bedroom was kicked off, followed by what sounded like explosions. He said he then saw his son falling to the ground while clutching his chest, and the 2 accused men and the 2 others in his son's room. The still hurting father said he heard Hines, who is the co-accused, asked if the father, which is the witness, should also be killed. But Brooks responded no. Thomas further told the court that he saw Brooks pass a cutlass to one of the individuals in the room who tried to sever his son's head, before declaring that the machete was too dull. The father said that other persons who was not before the court fired several shots in his son's head until the gun was empty. That person then requested gasoline and poured some on the body of his son and around the house before setting it afire. The two accused, along with the two other men, then ran from the burning building, allowing Thomas to make his escape from the house. Now, firefighters later found Israel's body, who is Lorenza Thomas, or Chulups, in the burnt building. Now, during the trial, Brooks and Hines offered defense of alibi, which was rejected by the judge. Let me see if I can find the official article. The official, who posted? Nationwide or APCA? I don't remember. I'm supposed to can find it somewhere still. Yeah, so that a part of what transpired. Because remember, when the arrest was made, it was said that my father's son, in passing the cutlass to Hines, I suspect, said that remember the boss one dead. So that is why the head was being severed, but apparently the machete was too dull. And yeah. So I just thought I would share that. Yeah, so statement from the office of the DPP. Yeah, so it's basically what is in the article per se. You understand? And thing. So here it says the eyewitness saw the accused Brooks pass a cutlass to one of the persons who was not in court. So apparently there were two other people involved in the incident, but I suppose they were not detained. I don't know what the situation with that. And thing. Yeah, man, it's the same thing. I suppose based on the information, they may not regret not killing the father. I suppose. Gruesome. Water girl. Blessings. Gruesome. Wow. Boy. I would have spoken at length about this on Friday night, so I'm not going to get back into that. I just thought I'd share the information and keep it moving because, you know what thing go. I remember when the plane crash landed in the Rocky Point area, there were some questions being asked as to why, how the plane supposed to enter Jamaican airspace and nobody don't know. And I said at the time that is not a... I think that was a one-off thing. And it happened in other places too where aircraft will enter a country's airspace and for whatever reason it was not detected. So that in itself is a problem. Me hear say you interview Johnny P. Me interview a lot of people, Milo. Yeah, man. Me interview a lot of people, man. Me don't know who I walk and tell people my business. Yeah, man. Me interview Johnny P, man. But me interview a lot of people before interviewing Johnny P. So that interview will be way, way down the road. Alright. I don't know why we find that for the ERC interview Johnny P. That is what I said exactly at the time, Finar. I said it's a matter of a national, it's a national security issue. Zane, occupants of mystery planes still on the run, and the JDF is ill-equipped to respond to airspace breaches, says Airman. So, a twin-engine plane half sunken in the Caribbean Sea, tight-lipped police investigators, and a community divided, teetering even on distrust from a mystery most feel is bigger than we. It is a quaint scene, probably a welcome attraction for a sleepy fishing village, malnourished from underdevelopment, and where, apart from seagulls, clanking dominoes, and a few expletives in between, not much grabs the attention. Wow. I will write the article here. It is up the top of the beach. Follow me. But you have to roll up your pants foot to cross the seawater, warned Duppy Flim. Then is why I'm decided to take the name there. Interview with Aurea Strong next. Yes, and I know that you were here from early, Empress. I'm going to show it to you earlier, man. The lonesome mystery plane perched neatly nearby stood out like a twig in the white sand, its Mexican flag conjuring fantasies of dark, clandestine voyages. Wow. To its left sprawled the open sea, and to its right stretched a trek into knee-high mud and crocodile-infested swamplands. If not into the path of excited Rocky Point residents, darting towards a crash site or a landing site, depending on which theory you believe. Whatever route they took, 15 minutes later, the plane occupants, said to be 3 foreigners, disappeared into the night on January 23rd. Some say by boat, others say by land, and with the help of waiting eyes, ears, and wheels on the ground. Yeah, Duppy Flame, but me not even get into it, cause he must know why my answer to the name there. Him depend it, God go with him, you know. You understand? Nonetheless, a week after being chased by Jamaica's most intelligent amalgamation of law enforcement units, the fugitives, who reportedly do not speak fluent English, remains at large. Head of the police's narcotics unit, Senior Superintendent Jervis Moore, while admitting on Friday that his team steers aspects of the probe, directed queries to the Deputy Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey, head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Crime and Security Portfolio. But like Moore, Bailey kept his cards close to his chest. There is no more update than what has been provided. The investigation continues. We can't say if it is a drug investigation or what, offered Bailey when contacted. We want to find out why the plane came to Jamaica and what was the mission. The plane came illegally into the country, it crashed, and we have done what we need to do in terms of our scenes of crime. Really? And you hold a Rocky Point in a plane before, no? There is nothing more so far as the physical plane that can help us, he emphasized when pressed. Whether anyone has been charged for tampering with or removing evidence from the crash scene is still unclear, but the cops seem to have bigger targets. Now, according to Jamaica's civil aviation regulations, an aircraft unregistered in a contracting state other than Jamaica or a foreign country shall not take on board or discharge any passengers or cargo in Jamaica, except in accordance with a license or permit. The operator or the commander of an aircraft referred to in paragraph 1, which is being flown over any foreign country, shall not allow that aircraft to be used for a purpose which is prejudicial to the security, public order, or public health, or to the safety of air navigation of that country, the law continues. Now, Gleaner archives reveal at least 4 plane crashes and an interception since 2008 that were believed to be part of the drugs transshipment network spanning the Caribbean, North America, and Europe, with Jamaica at its hub. At least 2 foreigners died in those incidents, and another 2 still not located to this day. So there was one where one crash go on one part, one place there. See, in one of them time. One of those crashes and the police interception occurred in Clarendon, the latter at the Vernam Field airstrip, which is, you know, the history of the Vernam Field airstrip. Zane? And things. So the strip is among more than 400 unofficial ports across Jamaica and is notoriously tied to drug trafficking, yet we're doing nothing to secure it. Similar to the crash 2 weeks ago in February of 2008, a plane slammed into mangroves in Rocky Point. Its burnt shell was later found with parcels of compressed ganja and the occupants missing. 2 months later, cops swooped down on the airstrip located not far from Rocky Point and arrested 2 men refueling a suspected drug plane. Now, as it is, with the scrapped unregistered plane left to the whims of residents, with no evidence of drugs, money, or contraband in it, the police must shy away from stating with certainty that they are hunting foreign drug mules. Besides, it is not uncommon for aliens to illegally enter Jamaica's airspace, according to pilots and air traffic controllers who spoke to the Gleaner. It is as easy as flicking off the plane's transponder or ignoring calls for identification from local authorities. For more nefarious activities, it means flying between mountains out of direct sight of Jamaica's archaic radar systems, and then showing that the air is busy with other planes and fuel is aplenty. You have what we call primary radar and secondary radar. The primary radar can pick up a lot more than the secondary can, but it tends to use up a lot of electricity, so you'll find a lot of people or countries, Jamaica as well, moving away from it, explained one source. The primary radar works on its own, while the secondary radar gets help from the transponders in the airplane. That way, it doesn't use so much electricity. The problem with that now is that somebody can just turn off their transponder and they just disappear. There are at least 2 secondary radars at the Norman Manley and Sangsters International airports and a primary radar system in Manchester. Whether or not the primary system was still operational was unclear. How the radar works is line of sight, and as you know, Jamaica is a hilly island. If the radar doesn't have line of sight with a target or an airplane out there, it will not see it, explained the air traffic controller. I don't think our problems are unique to us. From time to time, you will have unidentified aircraft flying in our airspace. Sometimes they are military airplanes. Sometimes it is just an airplane flying privately in uncontrolled airspace. But you can't say every unidentified plane that pops up on your radar is for drugs, he explained. Interesting point. The article is long. We tell that. Foolishness teach. First world countries can't stop drugs. JA is going to. We will never be able to stop drugs in its entirety, but we can reduce the drugs coming into the island and leaving the island. Probably significantly, but you will never be able to stop it. You understand? So the discussion is not about stopping it, you know. This discussion is about reducing the regularity. You understand? At which and the pace at which drugs move through the island. Because as I said before, anywhere there is drugs, there is guns and murders. You understand? And thing. I don't know if it's Mexico control the one at the airport. I know Mexicans operate the airport. But to say Mexico control it, I don't know that would be a statement that I can verify. You understand? But I know Mexicans are in control of the airport. Not Mexico, but Mexicans. So I don't know. Yeah. We need to do more to address the issues in music and the sickening crime and violence, says Sean Paul. And I want to speak specifically about Sean Paul and Shaggy tonight. You understand? Some people are getting up in them feelings, but that's alright. Whatever you think about Sean Paul and Shaggy, they are two of the most successful entertainers in the history of Jamaica. In the history of dancehall, because that is what they do. You know, Bob did reggae. You understand? Jimmy Cliff are reggae. Them people, they are reggae, them people they do. But Sean Paul and Shaggy, whatever you think about them, they are arguably the two most successful Jamaican dancehall entertainers on the international scene. Bar none. Feel me? When you think about Shaggy and Sean Paul again, you'll think about people like Agent Sasko. You'll think about people like Rummy and Virgo, even though it's kind of reggae Rummy and do still. But we just talk about some people where you never really hear them name calling and nothing. Zane and many other artists. You think about Chronix, you think about Protege and Kabak and Jesse Royal and some more people. And these guys have been doing music and have been visible, and you never hear them name calling or anything untoward. Whenever you hear them name call, it is positive movements. See Shaggy purchased a house for $2.15 million in Florida. That is over 300 million Jamaican dollars, you know. And that is not Shaggy's only house. You understand? I know Shaggy only house that, you know. Oh, enough people are sending me Harry Dark pics. Big up on yourself. See? And these men who continue to be successful internationally, you don't hear them name mixed up in a drama. You don't hear the police are look for them. You don't hear so they are wanted as a person of interest. And they remain focused. They remain humble. Many times they are not even in the spotlight. And they go about acquiring wealth for themselves and their family. Now, man, we know a busy story of Herbert, man. We know a busy absconded bail and the works, man. That was no secret. We get that. Zane? Also, as Rosie B just pointed out, many of the artists who are not involved in the courts and police are generally married with family men. Yet still, when other artists run afoul of the law, we hear again, so the system of fight the youths. And I asked the question before and I'll ask it again. Then all the system now fight Shaggy, all the system now fight Sean Paul, all the system now fight Chronix. You understand what I say? Oh, me never hear the system of fight Barry Salmon and Jimmy Cliff. Me no hear Jesse Royal and Kabaka Pyramid and Protege and the rest of the man them in a nothing with no police. You see me I say? Me no hear Rummy and Virgo and Chris Martin them in a nothing with no police. So the excuses that we keep banning about for artists who run afoul of the law, we need to cut them out, family. Because there are many other artists out there who are going about living their lives daily, achieving great things. And me no hear the system a fight them. So, them man name now get called by the police and they're still doing well all about the place. So I guess if the police call the name you big, me no know. Because I don't know that it get bigger than Shaggy and Sean Paul dancehall wise. The system a fight Buju. The drink some water, cause you see. Alright, my boss, the system a fight Buju. I don't know that this is Jamaican system and Buju did have anything still, but alright. Yeah. Peeps. We, as me I say, need to move away from this thing where we talk about the system of fight the youth them and stop finding excuses for the youth them. The youth them for clean up them life. You understand? The youth them for music them a do, the music them a do. Not for the youth them a hide behind music. That's the truth. Yeah man, but irrespective of what Shaggy is a Jamaican. A Jamaican artist. Above all things. And that don't detract from anything. You understand? Teach sometimes the system fight artists for real cause them guy off a spragger. Let me that. Is that okay. I want some charity organization and the system blacklist me. What you mean? What you mean the system blacklist you? You understand? Cause I don't know. Drawing on the 1961 American British war film, The Guns of Navarone, Grammy Award winning dancehall artist Sean Paul has painted yet another grim picture of Jamaica's massive crime problem with a song of the same name, partnering with fellow entertainer Jesse Royal and dub poet Muta Baruka. The father of two is hoping to encourage gangsters to turn away from a life of crime, as the latter will only lead them down two roads, death or jail. See? Sean Paul's Guns of Navarone opens with Muta Baruka questioning the logic behind choosing a life of crime, describing the indecencies of violence as traumatic. Muta Baruka said that society has so normalized these acts of war that it seems almost enjoyable to the criminal elements carrying out the brutality. How can a people be so traumatized that them start to love them traumatic experiences? Muta Baruka asks in the song's intro. Before Sean Paul gets into the chorus of the song where he laments that despite life being a most precious gift, there is no regard for it at all. See them a run with gold clips. So them gun nah stick. Yo, it's like Guns of Navarone. Bus shot quick. Head back split. Them a bus shot for tear your flesh and bone. Mama ball when she have to write the youth them name down in a stone. Sean Paul sings. Before asking why can't mankind see that life is a gift. I mean I share this with these particular reasons. Yeah? No, Sean Paul says crime and violence is horrible. It is sickening. People looking at babies and killing them. Old people and executing them. It really is sad, and it was time for a person like myself to address this issue. We address songs all day long about ladies dancing, about cheating, about how bun hot, and all these things. And of course, we want to keep talking about those things. But we also have to say things that really touch people or enable people to open their mind and grow a little bit. I think that it is what we need to do more of as entertainers in the society. we need to not only follow what is happening and hype right now, but we need to edify people and educate them on certain things. We need to open their mind. You understand? But the thing is that nobody know why I hear them sitting in a Sean. That me I try to tell you. Zane, the entertainer went on to say that although many believe that the music is one of the biggest enablers of crime and violence, it is not to be blamed 100%. He said that individuals ought to take responsibility for their choices, and the decision to become a criminal is not their only option. As a youngster, I never knew what copper shot was, and copper shot is my brother sound system. When I learned the song from Bounty Killer, when I talk about copper shot, remember, you understand? Me say, what am I talk about? And me find out say, is when bad boy make shot out a copper, and it sting hot, and it will poison your blood. And it was like, what? I learned that from that song, and it never made me pick up no gun, nor nothing. Come make we split, go for it, them come back. But while Sean Paul indicated that one does not ultimately have a choice, he admitted that songs do contribute to desensitizing individuals about the lasting effects of crime. He therefore sought to encourage his colleagues to strike a balance in the content. He urged them to craft songs that are not purely for entertainment purposes, but tracks that will sway gangsters away from the gun. It takes a village to raise a child, and to me, we as entertainers have a moral responsibility to society to try and uplift, educate, edify, and also entertain. It can't all be about entertainment. It can't be in one direction. It can't be all darkness all the times. That will only lead to a dark future, he said. And when your future dark, and the man them start certain things, them only have two places to go. Prison or murderers. I am sorry to say it like that, but it is just the way it is. You understand? So another artist has said that the music influenced the youth them and it influenced things. Well, many people still disagree with that still. And again, I speak to Sean Paul and Shaggy's success, and not only on the crime level, but many artists out here, as them get a one song, them are the man, and them are the biggest thing, and them are the baddest thing, and them never yet close a big stage show. Them never yet left Jamaica. You understand? At them man I do the thing. At them man I fly the flag. Zane, Sean Paul, Shaggy, Chronics, they run at some place, run at some parts. You would like Popcorn out there try to keep it thing. Elephant Man did do it one at a time. Big. You can't take that from Ellie. You understand? Beanie Man fly the flag out there. Killer fly the flag out there. Zane Gargamel fly the flag out there. Shabba kick down some whole heap of doors. You understand? Super Cat do some work around on one part. Burro Bantan they do some things around on one part, around so one at a time. Whole heap of people go out there. Go do the thing. You understand? The youths them need to understand say yo, the music, not that Jamaica brother, in a stop a Norman Man International Airport. Zane, and enough man there ball about who a run this and who a run that. When you look on Sean Paul and Shaggy, you never hear them money about them and run now about ya. You understand? And them bank book them a run. Zane, so there are so many lessons to just sit and look at Shaggy. Sean Paul is not the most talented artist, naturally gifted artist. But Sean Paul has used the talent that he has, as limited as some people may think it is or was, and he has become a superstar. I remember when Shensia was just coming out. Zane, I remember booking Shensia for a barbecue at my place of work. She come sing her one song at the time and wine up look a bit well. Wine, because Shensia is not the best wine about the place neither. You understand? And look at where Shensia is now. Seeing many people when Shensia just come out say is her color and she just pretty, but she not good. No Shensia artist, female artist in a dancehall bar, none. You understand? So these people may not be the most gifted naturally. You understand? When we talk about naturally gifted DJs, we are talking about the Cartels and the Idonias and some other man. You understand? Naturally gifted people, them people there be. Zane, Shensia is not, but Shensia has when she put her foot in at the door, she just keep walking and walking, and now she has grown and matured and has become the female artist in the business. You understand what I say? Sean Paul, when Sean Paul just come on the scene, Sean Paul was one look a brown youth to try a thing. Now Sean Paul is an international superstar. You understand? There are many artists out there who are more talented music-wise, naturally, than a Shaggy. But Shaggy has used discipline and the talent we have to become an international superstar. You them and in fighting for who are run dancehall, sometimes the man them get caught up in some things where them can't deal with, and one thing lead to the next and lead to the next and lead to the next. The youth them feel a bigger future and a bigger vision. You understand what I say? And thing and stop talking about who are run this and who and numbers here. I talk about some little numbers and them and they sell all 10 million copy of one record. I don't even know. You understand? You them need to understand. Say, look here. What about Bojo Mr. Rosa? What you mean? Zane, you need to understand. Say, music is so powerful. You don't even understand. All people can say, I did feel down and I go listen to a song and it lift my spirit. You understand? I did feel like I give up and I go listen to a song and the song there give me a vibes and I want to do it. Zane? So if music can motivate you positively and uplift you, so it can influence you negatively and tell you to do the wrong thing. So it only work in a one way. No, come on, man. But again, we keep on finding excuses. Teach them about you finding excuses. Yeah, Cookie, them always talk about Shaggy complexion and Sean Paul complexion. Shaggy and Sean Paul never sit down on their complexion. You understand? So if it's a tool where you have, you use it. So Shaggy and Sean Paul complexion. So we never say Buju not talented, but we can't call everybody name Impress. You understand? Barry Someone is arguably probably the most talented musician, singer ever. We can't call everybody name. You understand? So yeah, man, big up Buju. Zin, the man them never just sit down upon them color. The man them work, the man them perform. You understand? See somebody else say Chronix no light complexion. Jimmy Cliff no light complexion. Barry Salmon no light complexion. You understand what I say? So I don't understand the complexion thing still, but I don't saw a thing go. Hard work the man them use and conquer the thing. You see, Elephant Man have light complexion. Elephant Man was once the hottest Jamaican artist on the international stage. Elephant Man, Fizzle, was once the hottest Jamaican artist on the international stage. Elephant Man. You see what I'm saying? Ellie. And Ellie is one nice shade of black. You understand? Beanie Man has had international successes. Beanie Man is a black man. You understand? Killer have had crossover success. Not so much as Sean Paul and Shaggy and Beanie Man probably, but you see what I say? So we always find excuses. You see, we always find excuses. So I don't know. You understand? My father was signed to something there as a black man for long time. You understand? Shabba is a black man. Shabba kick down whole heap of doors around one part, around one place for a long time. You understand? So you don't know anything got peeps. Stop finding excuse to the artists then. I want to stop defending the artists them from some indefensible position. Tell the artists them to fix up them things. You understand? I use good example. Shaggy, Sean Paul, Zins, Popcorn out there I tried with now. So Shensia, all is missing from Shensia is a collaboration with a top-notch R&B singer rapper. If Shensia should score a collaboration with a Nicki Minaj or a Rihanna, Zane, or a Beyonce, Zane, or one big name rapper, I done it done. On the can't hold her again. Shensia, where them did say not have no talent about here. Enough. Remember when the local thing are going with Lodi, with Cartel and Elvis them and Shensia them and the whole thing. Enough people are say, yo, Ray, you know, Shensia is the biggest dancehall artist in Jamaica right now. You understand? Yeah, man. So, you know what I think. See, Chronics are the biggest reggae artist in our country right now, in the young part, I think. Yeah, Chronics not telling no man to go kill no man. You understand? Burning Spears is probably the biggest reggae artist in our world. Burning Spears. Some people don't even know Burning Spears look. So if people don't want to think or run a thing about it, them not run nowhere. You understand? And the man they want to crown this and that and whatnot. And Asaka and Jessa. Nuh-uh. Enough of the man they want to say I run things popcorn a bigger name than them a road. You understand? That's what I think about. You see? That means to teach his music, their talent, not base. But that's how people stay, brother. You understand? We are going to find excuses. Shabba, big, dirty, stinking Shabba. Black man. You understand? So, I don't know where they come from both here. Mad Cabra, we have international success. Cabra Black Army here. My G. You understand what I say? So, you know what I think. You know what I talk about. Spice. I have had success. Probably not musically, but you know Spice do her thing on some reality show and then sitting there. Then Spice is a black girl, what you mean? You understand? So I don't know what they're on. Peeps. Shaggy, big up yourself. Is a inspiration to all a man like me. Zane. If you know say hard work and discipline have its rewards. You understand? We give thanks. And a man can take up 300 million Jamaican dollars and buy a house and you know shake him, then you know one thing go. Jaja. Yes, Rasta. Big up to the whole of people them both there. You understand? But the youth them need for know say thing bigger than Jamaica. We are run down Jamaica, Zane, and who I get the most views per YouTube. Who are streaming most on Spotify? You understand? Who are chart the highest on Billboard? Zane, who are get Grammy nomination? You understand what I say? Who are win Grammy both here? You understand what I say? Who for name a call up when certain things come up? And a call up for the right reason. You would them for aspire to them things, them man. So me I say, and the man them for load the badness. And we don't want to accept it or not, many artists both here involved in a crap. You understand? And I use music as a cover. You understand? I'm not willing to talk the truth, but I truth. But the truth, no artists, no fee teach them. We're not business with them. We just encourage them. You understand? If them know so them have things to fix, them fix it. You know how much time I say that all about specific people. If you don't know have things to fix, you don't fix them. If you don't know so you're not involved in nothing, or don't know so anything good, mad. If you don't know so not some fool round, get rid of them. You understand what I say? But the man not understand. The man not listen. You see me I say every man a bad man. Every man have to uphold them street cred. You understand? My bank book me one uphold, brother. Johnny P is one of the first people signed to a foreign label, Relativity, in the early 90s. That's what you know of Milo. Go research a brother named Glenn Ricks. You probably have to talk about dancehall still, but go research Glenn Ricks. Glenn on Ricketts. Peeps, big up on yourself. Give thanks. Interview Tuesday. You understand? Yeah. We soon teach them these young artists are hiding behind the music. Well, some of them, because you have artists out there where young and music them there seeing that are their mission, but then you have some man where you know one thing, them alright. But we have to talk, because some people not willing to talk, and the fans them are going to defend them. You understand? Tony, want to go and pick up yourself, me. You that. You know, say a night. Me a stream from 8 o'clock. You know how long that? Eh. Interview premiere Tuesday. Not an artist where anybody could expect or probably think of, but you know what thing go. Every man have them story and them glory. Yeah, son? Yeah, man. Did I do PowerPoint? Big up yourself, good teacher. Proud of you. Dudley Harper, blessings. Peeps, Bugle this week. I interviewed many people before Bugle, my friend. You understand? Me not do an interview today to upload tomorrow, you know. You understand? Patron, that would be nice. Yeah. Tomorrow at school too, no? Me have 9 8 morning. Go through them exam paper with them and thing. Grade 11 still have the exam, so I have them tomorrow. So that are 2 classes. Well, then they have grade 10. Alright. Yeah. Terror Fabulous. I love call people name me Zebra. Them unfair, you know. Looks like the dragon and the eagle and the bear, you know. Oh, revision. Yeah, man, can do that. Yeah, man, remember we have to go through exam paper for them and cuss who forget cuss. Leroy, dance smart. Nah, man. We got no school. Alright. Okay, snowstorm. I hope you not too bad still and damage nothing and then sitting there. So, yeah. Which exam? End the term exam, you know, because I never get to do December, so it did have to run off in January, yeah. But my grade 11, them still have them paper one for do. And thing. Red Rat. Teach, try interview the Godfather, Berries. Hopefully one of them time, man. Cause love means never to say you're sorry. We have watched up a word song. Peace, big up on yourself. As me say, Artist Tuesday, Story Tuesday, big up on yourself. And thing. Cause when you feel like it's only man with name around here artist, and that me realize, you know. Glenn Ricks is a done in the business and him son, one big R&B artist. Yeah, man. Glenn Ricks is Shaggy your interview. No, so you say Shaggy just buy a house. Shaggy not have time for interview. The man they decorate them place. Cosmo, big up yourself. Peace, me I cut out now. I'm gonna do a few things related to school. So you know I think, big up on yourself. Yeah, man, Shabba win Grammy. Yeah, man, we know, man, and them something there. And yeah, man, I would love to interview Shabba one of them there. But you know, Shabba no live both here. And then, you don't know, we see a thing go. Peace, big up on yourself. Tuesday, make it a date and don't be late. 7:30. Don't look feet. Get book feet. You understand? Big up on yourself. Appreciate the continued support. Be careful. You understand? And peeps. Invariably, as human beings, we are going to have disputes and conflicts. But there's always another way. You understand? Unless your life is in danger, you don't have to resort to violence. See, and that this is coming from a no-nonsense man. A man who may not take certain things. You know, well, kind of really, me laugh off of certain things and I walk still. When I was younger, I was a serious type of youth. You understand? And I'm glad say the Lord has kept me. And none of them incidents they never lead me over a certain level and certain lines. Because all the way are human beings, you know. But violence is not the answer. You understand? Somebody are dead, somebody are got prison, or everybody are dead. Then that don't make no sense. Everybody are lose. Who win? Who win? You understand? Nobody wins. Who lose? Too many people losing. Makes absolutely no sense. You understand? So, I now say things now got me, because it's human nature for people do your things and you do people things and things will happen. But, peeps, violence no make no sense. Violence and nonsense. You understand? And more people are going to lose. Enough people are going to lose and nobody now going to win. So you know the and many times our friend them we grew up with, we are killed, with schoolmate them, with family members them. Zane and them something there. Oh no, easy man, go easy man. There's a solution to every problem when it involve violence. Maybe. But yeah, alright, peace, my gone. Walk good. Take care. See you Tuesday for premiere. Zane. And the truth is not an artist where you're probably familiar with, but he's an artist. You understand? And I know people know some interview people in a cause. I'm gonna say, you know, I do an interview with a teacher, or I'm gonna post a picture. So I know some people me interview recently enough. And funny enough, this interview was done from December. So for sure you were with there. You understand? So yeah, peace, big up on yourself. Walk good. Step with ya. Test read, a black and white picture nice though. You look clean. Boy, beard is a hell of a thingy. Peeps, good night. Walk good. Step with ya. Safe travel upon the gravel. Appreciate the ones them. Heart of love. If you're here for the first time, appreciate the support. All of my good subscribers, moderators, all of them people there. Elephant Man was a surprise. I didn't interview Ellie. I would have said me interview Ellie. I didn't interview Ellie. So, babe, walk good. God go with you now. I'm on. Ellie, big up yourself, yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in. Like the stream before you go. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Remember to share the stream with your family and friends and browse the channel for more amazing content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them. Hey, yo, yellow. Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them right here. Warlord representing.